Hello everyone. I hope everyone is keeping safe, healthy and energetic at their respective places. Well, today I, Kalpna Chauhan, your host, is back again with a powerful session or rather powerful discussion in terms of the evolution process of education. Very recently we got to know that NEP has came in force. Now it will be soon implemented in our schools in K-12 segment. So let us see it from the perspective of the entire educational journey so far that we have had. So before going through the journey of the educational evolution process, let us quickly understand it from the human's evolution process. Well, human has evolved from wearing leaves to wear fashionable stitched clothes for covering the body. The entire evolution process for human being was not very easy. Lot has to be learned, lot has to be unlearned in the whole process. And if we talk about the educational process, the traditional practices had been there for a long period of time. So now is the time to unlearn those traditional practices and come up with something which is very unique, which is actually talking about the personalized learning teaching mechanism, which is actually empowering the teacher as well as the student. Well, all of us have witnessed the time when teachers would used to teach the way they were taught. They learnt themselves with little regards to this varying student needs. But the world changed when these big giants, Howard Gardner, Benjamin Bloom or Maria Montessori and think tanks like them came into existence, and they offered, because they actually turned the education on its head by offering an agile teacher model for making the learning more interactive, for making the learning that sticks for a longer period of time. Then the second wave came into existence. We will understand it through different waves. So version 1.0 was of the researchers who proposed certain theories, certain researchers, certain mechanisms, certain models. So that was version 1.0. Then the version 2.0 came into existence, where the teachers actually started using the models that were discussed to them, and they started the process of adapting those models with proper care and concern of the student, that how will student understand. They start trying to at least implement it in certain segments, maybe through WAC approach, wherein different kinds of learners used to be catered. That was version 2.0. Now we are talking about version 3.0, in which all of us exist right now. Yes. So version 3.0 basically, when it evolved, it started talking about disrupting the existing pedagogies. Yes, it's about disrupting all the existing pedagogies, and it has evolved through MOOCs, massive open online courses. And this is not just limited to universities, it is also catering to our K-12 segment. Now the question arises, how? Yes, now we have a lot of such providers, educational providers like Byju's, Vedantu, LearnFlix and many more. They exist because they are driving personalized learning mechanism. So in these three versions, we have seen the process of education. So education now is about empowering the learner, not just through style, but also through process. Now, if we go back, while at first glance you would feel that the essence of education, the purpose of education is clear. But if you canvass just a few people in your vicinity, you will realize that the purpose, the intent of education is still not clear. It's still very vague. Yes, when I say that it's a vague state that we are discussing so far, I literally mean that different poles, different pillars of education are not on the same page. If we consider educators, if we consider the society, and if we consider the student himself. Yes, now we will analyze it in different versions. So if we start it by parents. So for version 1.0, the parent considered education as the means of child care. When they moved out of farms for the industrial revolution, they came into the industrial setup. So they considered the means of education as child care. Then if we consider this version 2.0, the parents took it as the capability building mechanism, wherein the students will be ready for future. They would develop certain life skills if they would go through the educational process. And then the current version in which all of us are right now, version 3.0. Now parents consider it as the competitive mechanism, because it's a cutthroat competitive world. So for existing in this world, for surviving in this world, education is the powerful weapon. So now the purpose is to be more competitive. Now the second pillar of education, yes, the educators, the very important pillar. For them, the first version 1.0 was basically to impose certain set of standards and rules on children so that they would abide by those rules and they would become the same kind of the creation that they wanted to. Then version 2.0 came into existence, where teachers considered this educational mechanism as a means of imprinting certain disciplines onto a child's brain. Yes, then in version 3.0, the teachers, the educators consider it as the means of inspiring children to come out of box, to think beyond the boundaries, to be more creative. Last but not the least, the society that is built through all of us. For version 1.0, the society considered education for enhancing religious means. The education purpose was in spreading more knowledge about religion. It was religion centric. Then in version 2.0, the educational purpose was driven by the interest of governments. It was politically decided, like based on whatever government is in force, they preferred whatever mechanism for education. They included those syllabus, those things that they wanted to make the students learn. Then the second, then the version 3.0, which is right now. Now the society aiming for advantage. Now the society considers the educational mean is aiming for advantage, not only in this native but also across the globe, because now brain drain is happening, and at the same time Indians are spreading their wings everywhere. So now the scenario has all changed. But if we consider these three pillars of education, they are still not very clear, they are still not on the same page. So I, as an individual, being from the same educational fraternity for almost a decade as of now, and would love to continue the same for next 2 or 3 decades, I as an individual would like to present a version 4.0. I aim to be a part of that version 4.0, wherein we would have alignment of these three pillars. And now the question arises, how would it happen? Because these three pillars are going differently. So in my point of view, I would like to present a mechanism wherein we need to empower the teachers to a greater extent that they would drive the entire educational process themselves. And we have seen it in the ancient era, wherein the Gurukul system was there. Students used to be sent for 12 to 14 years to undergo the same process. So why can't we implement it now? Why can't we have the alignment? Why can't we empower our teachers? Now the question arises that there are not all quality teachers. Please don't mind me saying that, because there are teachers by choice and teachers by chance. So here, when I'm proposing version 4.0, all I mean is to have a proper funnel wherein we have all the teachers who are teachers by choice. So I am expecting that I will be alive to see, and let us see how we can make it more meaningful for our upcoming generation. So with that note, I would like to take a break. Till then, be happy, stay safe. Don't forget to comment what you think about this. Thank you so much.